Hi, Tammy. Share with me how have you been or how can I help you?
I have a huge dilemma right now. I'm really confused and I don't really know what to do. It all started last Friday. My friend, he's dating this guy, and it was like this guy's birthday party, and I didn't want to go, but my friend insisted and insisted, and I ended up going.
Okay.
And before going to the party, I talked to my friend because he wasn't sure he wanted to be with this guy,
Okay.
and he said that he didn't want to be with him anymore, that he was something just not in his life anymore. So, well, we went to the party and we got a bit drunk, and we were dancing in this huge group. And suddenly I started hanging out with this guy, and we started talking, and I don't really know how, but we started making out, and then we started dancing, and it was all pretty fast.
Okay.
And then but at the party my friend was really close with this guy. It didn't seem like they had ended it, so it was really confusing for me. And then after the party, I talked to my friend again, and then he said that he didn't want this guy in his life, and that he maybe it was wrong. And then I felt really guilty about it, and yeah, now I'm really confused.
Okay, so you're telling me you have this hard situation you mentioned as a dilemma because you are not sure what to do, so you went to this friend's party, and so at the first you didn't want to go there, but you end up going, and so there you got a little bit drunk and you didn't know how, but it at some point you started to be with this guy that your friend liked, and so at the moment you notice your friend maybe not, tell me if I'm wrong, that your friend was not concerned at that moment, but then she told you that maybe she is considering this guy seriously.
At the moment, my friend, he was he didn't seem to bother,
Okay.
but I don't think he noticed everything. I mean, he saw us dancing and all, but he didn't see us kissing.
Okay.
So I don't think he knows really what happened, and that's what concerns me the most, because I know there were a lot of people at the party, and I know that some of them must have seen us.
Yeah.
So maybe I should tell him what happened and be honest about it before someone else tells him. Yeah, so I'm really confused about that and other things that are really weird about the whole situation.
Weird.
Yeah, I mean, for starters, that I never placed myself in this position because I've been friends with him about a year,
Okay.
and he's dated a lot of people, and I never thought we could be fighting about this. So it's I've never placed myself in this position in which I don't know if I should tell him this because he will get mad at me. Yes.
Okay. So I see in your facial expressions you're worried about this, and I see that you consider your friend a lot. And so, talk to me more about this dilemma. Describe this dilemma. What is the main issue of this?
The main issue is if my friend still wants to be with this guy, then I'm in between.
Okay.
That's the main issue. But there are lots of things that confuse me more behind. For
Okay.
example, the fact that my friend changed his mind before and after the party. That's really weird because he seemed really sure of what he wanted, and before he didn't mention anything about being with him anymore, and then just magically after he decided that maybe he did want this guy in his life. So that confused me a bit too, and yeah, the fact that it just all happened so fast, and that maybe I feel I should talk to this guy too and figure out what does he want.
Okay, so the main issue is that you maybe will be in the middle of the situation between your friend and this guy. So talk to me about a relationship about you had with your friend. You mentioned it started a year ago, right?
Yeah, it started a year ago, and it was like coincidence because
Okay.
my friend was dating a friend of mine, and then somehow we met, and we like started talking and noticed that we have a lot in common, and we've never really fought for anything, which is hard because now that I imagine him being mad at me, it's like really like it really hurts.
Okay.
So yeah, we've never fought about anything. Like we've never had any awkward situation like this, like as strong as this. So yeah, our friendship has always been like really honest. We've never judged each other. We've tried to like support each other as much as we can. We've been able to. And like really now it's like really hard for me to think that maybe he will be angry at me because of this.
Okay.
And yeah, as I told you, like I never picture myself like in this situation because like my friend he dates guys and these guys usually don't like women. So like this guy just like out of nowhere liking me, it's like really out of nowhere and really confusing too. So I don't really know how to start with this process in which I don't want to hurt like anyone.
Okay, so you describe your friendship as this close relationship where it was you were clear all the time. There's no big fights or no awkward moments. You didn't judge each other. Right now, I see it a little bit more clear that the dilemma you told me before. So your friend might be angry at you, and you mentioned you want to be the one to tell him first about what happened than maybe other person. So have you thought about this? Like maybe when are you going to do it, and how do you feel about this?
Like I've thought a lot, and maybe that's been like a problem too, because I've like overthought things, and that has like brought many other options that I didn't consider like at first. First, like I think, like in like deep down, I feel like he does know what happened.
Okay.
Because like when we were dancing, he was like right beside us, and he looked confused. Like you could tell that something was wrong with him, but he didn't mention anything. But like from my perspective, it was like really obvious.
Okay.
Because yeah, I told you we were like all dancing as a group, as friends, and then like out of nowhere, this guy just like wanted to spend time with me. So I believe it was like pretty evident, but still I feel like I should be friendly with him and talk to him, like state that I never meant to hurt anyone. I never meant to like get in between the relationship, and let him know that like whatever he decides, like if he still wants to be with this guy, or still like wants to be my friend, whatever, like I will understand because this happened like literally like out of nowhere.
Okay.
And I would understand like any decision he takes.
Okay, so I see that you really are aware of the situation. You have overthink the things that happen, and maybe how can you maybe confess this to your friend. But you also mentioned that deep down he already knows. And do you have maybe some feelings against this that maybe he already knows, because you mentioned it was evident at the party that you got together? So
Yeah, I also think that he knows because like yesterday I went on like a date with this guy, and he uploaded like a picture of us, and I know my friend saw it. So he probably like suspects that something's going on between us. Maybe not like specifically, but I know deep down that he can tell that something is like changing. And today I saw him, and when we like approached each other, it felt weird, like it didn't felt natural. So I think he kind of knows, which worries me more because maybe he thinks that I'm not talking to him about that because I want it to be a secret, or like I'm doing it against him, or that I planned this somehow. I don't know, it's just this process of overthinking all the options are really killing me right now. And it's making me like really anxious because, yeah, as I told you, this guy is gay, and the probabilities of him liking me are like really scary. And yeah, it's like, what if he's doing it to get back at my friend for something?
Okay.
Or what if he's doing it because he's not sure of his orientation? Or what if he's just fooling around with me, or he just wants to be my friend and I just like can't tell? So they're all like this set of options that I've considered like these days, and that have made it like really hard to take a decision.
Okay. Okay. So I see how the possible options you've considered and you've thought of. You also mentioned this where you made me feel somehow, and correct me if I'm wrong, guilty about it because you went to this party and you didn't know that this could happen. This guy was supposed to be gay, you know, so you didn't expect at all happen this.
I mean, I did kind of, I mean, it's really weird because the first time I met this guy, like my friend introduced him like as his couple,
Okay.
as like the guy he was seeing, and I don't know why I felt like really attracted to him at the time. And I told my friend like, hey, this guy's really cute, like he's really handsome, he's like really funny, and he was like, yeah, I know, like he said that he really liked you too. But I thought it was something like that happened just at the moment, like, and then that's why I like at first didn't want to go to the party because I felt like something could have happened.
Okay.
And I did go with, like when my friend told me that he didn't want to be with him anymore, I did go like with this like somehow illusion that something could happen, but when it actually happened, it like didn't feel real.
Okay.
It felt like impossible, and that was like what, like I do feel guilty for my friend,
Okay.
but I don't regret it.
Okay.
So it's really like I kind of wanted it to happen and expected it to happen. I just never thought it could happen. So it did came like literally out of nowhere. But like, what if it happened just because like everyone was drunk? And like it's just, there are so many things I have to consider before taking like this decision.
So I see you are mentioning all the possible factors that could lead to this situation. You mentioned when you first knew this guy, you noticed, oh, he's handsome, like he's really cute and funny, and so your friend told you that he also kind of liked you, but it was just momentary, and you didn't want to go to this party because you kind of felt something that might happen there. But you also expected to happen if you went. So you mentioned you felt guilty. You this feeling of guiltness was like at the moment. I mean, at that time where you were maybe in the party, or was before, it was after, I don't know.
I think it was like, as I told you, like at the moment it happened, like at the party, like with everyone, it almost didn't feel real, and I like didn't have time to process anything, so I just went along with it, and I didn't really feel guilty at the moment.
Okay.
But then like after the party, when I talked to my friend, and he mentioned that maybe he did want to go like back with this guy, and that they like were trying something new, and I then like all the guilt came to me. Like that was a moment when I really felt like that shouldn't have happened. But before, like at the party, I didn't feel anything at all, like just happiness, and I didn't really thought of what consequences I could have. And I think this guy didn't think of that either.
Okay.
And we just like went with it. We didn't really like thought through it. Yeah.
So you reconnected at the moment. There was so many factors that it just happened. Somehow it just happened. And as I see you expressing when you're referring to your friend, like you mentioned the guilt, and so that is the word I'm using right now. You mentioned your friend, and so I see these facial expressions that maybe regret and guilt. So before meeting this friend, because I see that you consider this friend a lot, you get along with him really well. I wonder about past friend relationships, like how has it worked, or how it was before.
Okay.
Right now, like in the bigger group, maybe, or
Okay, so in the past, I have had some troubles, like similar troubles. When I was in high school, I remember I had this friend. She was really insecure, and she had just gone out of this like really troubled relationship. When she, like her boyfriend just like left the country without even telling her, and then just broke up with her or whatever. And she was like really like desperate. And I remember us in senior year, like it was just the beginning of the year, and this new guy came into the school, and he was a junior. And I don't know why my friend really liked him. She was like totally obsessed with him. And somehow I got to like be friends with this guy, just like out of coincidence. But I didn't like him at all, and my friend thought that I had gotten like in between her relationship, like I was crossing her possible relationship, whatever. And like she got really mad at me and never spoke to me again.
okay.
And now like I'm still good friends with this guy, and nothing has like ever happened. But I kind of like did feel guilty, like because I knew how harsh that was for her. But still, it wasn't like my intention. Like the first time I approached this guy was to ask him to come to a party, like, but my friend wanted him to go, so I did for her. But somehow she like interpreted it all wrong, and I just got like, yeah, I lost our friendship. But this time I think it's different because I did wanted it, and I did like this guy. I don't want like the same thing to happen. Yeah, and
Okay.
I know it's not the same situation and everything, but still, I'm really like afraid of this ruining my relationship.
Okay, and besides this case, describe me a little bit more like your circle of friends.
Okay, my circle of friends, I have 5. Like my group of friends is 5 and me, and we are all like really close. We met the first year of university, and we stayed friends, like all of us. We have, we fight sometimes, but it's superficial, and we get through it.
Okay.
We haven't had any trouble with boys, yeah, anything. And then I have a couple of friends that are also important for me that don't really belong to that circle, but interact, and yeah, they're all like spending time together. And like pretty much through my whole experience in university, I've maintained the same circle of friends.
Okay.
And this friend I'm telling you about, he just came a year ago, and I feel like we're really close, and we really have this like really healthy interaction, and we've really haven't fought and anything. And I feel like this could maybe break down everything we built.
Okay, and your gay friend is part of this 5 person of the circle of friends, or is it more
Like,
apart?
he's not like, he doesn't belong to this 5 people
Okay.
group, but he knows them, and we've been all out, and like we share a lot of friends.
Okay.
And I met this like my friend because my best friend, he's also gay, and they were dating, and like we spent a lot of time together, like not on purpose, but we just started playing time. And then when they broke up, like I stayed friends with him, which I don't think it's like bad. I'm still best friends with my best friends, and everything is pretty much okay. But like my friend and like my best friend cannot like hang around together. Like that is really uncomfortable, and I am afraid that maybe that will happen if one of us stays with this guy. Like let's say that I just don't want to be with him and my friend does, and but if we like get together, I feel like it's gonna be really uncomfortable. And we're not gonna be able to interact like in a fluent way. And the other way around, like if I stay with this guy and my friend is there, like I know it's gonna be uncomfortable for him and for us too. So I don't want that. Like I want to avoid every uncomfortable situation that may happen. Yeah, with any option, I still just want us to be friends, even if nothing happens.
Okay, so I see that you have this relationship with friends that are really open. You have like you maintain your friends over time. I see like that thing with you. And also with your friend we were talking about, like the one you're having this dilemma. You also have been good with him in this friendship, but right now of the situation it maybe get things uncomfortable and awkward, maybe affected all the maybe other friends in common. So it will affect you in many aspects.
Yeah.
Okay, and share with me the fact that you did this, like when you danced or kissed this other guy, not at the moment, but with the guilt you mentioned. So describe a little bit more, like what are your thoughts about it and your emotions about it?
Okay. Like that night, I told you like I didn't think about it at all. It was all good. Then the next day, I talked to my friend, and he just said this about him wanting to get back, and suddenly I thought like obviously he doesn't know what happened. I thought of telling him like that moment, but I got really scared and thought that maybe he would like start fighting me. I don't know. Like that moment was really hard. And then afterwards, I started thinking that maybe this relationship really could develop into something more. Like I actually thought that maybe we could get somewhere together. Okay, then we hang around, the three of us, with some other friends, and I noticed that they still feel this connection for each other. They still like get to hang around and like share this because they've known each other for about a year.
Okay.
And I just met this guy, so it's obvious that they have more interaction, like deeper interaction. They know each other so much better, and they share way more moments like together. So I kind of felt jealous at that moment. And but then like when my friend's not around, this guy is like totally different. He focuses on me and he's trying to like connect with me. But then my friend is here and like we feel like I feel like he's not sure of like wanting to be with me. So then I thought that maybe it wasn't worth it. Like maybe I thought that we would get nowhere, and maybe I was gonna tell my friend and it was not gonna be worth it if he got mad at me or if he just thought I was a bad friend. So then I thought, like, why tell him if probably like we won't get anywhere or we were just like fooling around. Okay, then I went out with this guy and it felt like really comfortable. Like I felt really safe around him and like non-judging, and but like still I feel like he's not sure. Like he is still in between us both. And that is really a big concern for me because I don't want this to become like a competition
Okay.
for like who stays with who and who stays friends and who gets to be like. I really don't want that, and that's really right now it's my worst case scenario.
Okay.
Like my friend finding out everything out of nowhere, getting mad at me, and then making this some sort of fight. That would be for me like the worst, because there is the possibility of losing my friend and losing this guy. It's just I'd rather like lose this guy. Like I don't really feel like it would be a huge impact, but if I lose my friend, then that would be like really painful. So I thought of all this and about my emotions. Like I've been really anxious.
Okay.
Like yesterday when I had this date with this guy, I couldn't sleep, and when I got to sleep, I woke up like every 20 minutes thinking it was already time to like leave the house. It was really stressing, and yeah, I told you today I saw my friend and it felt like really distant and really like awkward, and he just came and said hello and left. When usually he comes and says something funny or he tells me like something about his day or something. But today he just approached me and it was like if he didn't trust me anymore.
Okay.
And that was really harsh. And I don't want it to end this. Like if he knows, I feel like I should tell him like even with more rush. Like I should tell him like right now.
Yes.
But like there are all these things that I have to like consider before. And I know he's like a really sensitive person, and I have to use like the correct approach for him to understand really what I felt and how hard this has been on me.
Okay, so let me see if I understood you. So you mentioned that this guy may be not really sure about you or your friend, and so you mentioned you don't want to be in the middle of the situation as a competition, and you'd rather lose this guy than your friend, because when the three of you were together, he was different than when you were alone. So you see that maybe there's not this future as you thought as a couple maybe.
Yeah.
And so I really see and notice that you, and correct me if I'm wrong, confirm this to me. You really, is most important for you, your friend, than this guy.
Yeah, like my friend is really my priority right now.
Okay.
Like everything I do, I want to do for his own good. Like I don't want him to feel like I somehow attacked him or went against him or betrayed him or did it to hurt him. That's why I really need to think of what I have to say. Like prepare my speech for him to understand that I did this. Like I didn't plan this. Like I kind of planned. I don't know if I planned it or not, but at the end it happened. So yeah, I just don't want him to feel that I'm like not trustable. Like or unworthy of his friendship or something. Yeah, I don't want him to feel like he cannot trust me.
Okay, so I really see how you value this friend a lot, because you also mentioned earlier that you're trying to find like the correct way to do this approach and have this correct words because of the sensitive guy. And so not to hurt him, not to have these fights, but as you mentioned before, you are the one that want to tell him this. But I get your dilemma. There is the other things we talked before, and also your friend and this guy.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing this with me, Cami. We will work on this from the next session to build this speech with him and work on it.
Okay.